planting grafted tomatoes, and grafted tomatoes are very vigorous growers. So my first step is to install a very sturdy support system for the plant. Now, grafting of tomato plants has long been used in greenhouse production, but it's relatively new to field production and the home garden, in fact. And what grafting does is it takes a desirable scion or shoot and attaches it to a very hardy root system, which is called the rootstock. And you could see on the plant the point where these two pieces were joined together. There's a bit of a scar, and it's important to locate that scar. We're going to be paying attention to that as we plant our plants. One of the most common uses for grafting tomatoes, particularly in the home garden and market producers, is for heirloom varieties because they lack some of the disease resistance that we get from that rootstock. So we have 3 different heirlooms today that we're planting: pineapple, grandma's pick, and brandywine. And I also plan to put in a non-grafted brandywine so I can compare the growth between them, because these grafted plants can cost as much as $7 a piece. I want to make sure that we're getting a good payoff for that investment. So we are going to be planting grafted tomatoes a little bit different than we would our regular tomatoes. Usually we'll encourage people to pull off some of the lower leaves and bury a significant portion of the tomato stem to encourage rooting and a larger root system. But remember, here we have an improved root system, and if we bury this stem up here above that graft, we're going to get roots out of the non-improved portion, and they aren't going to have that inherent resistance that our rootstock has. So as we go through the planting process here, we actually want to make sure that we keep that graft visible at all times and keep it above the soil line. So for the grafted tomato, I'm just going to encourage planting it at the same depth it is in the pot. Of course, you loosen up that root system as you would with any plant. And just keep that graft line visible at all times while you're working to ensure that it stays above the soil line. Now, I started with a sturdy support system. Grafting not only provides some increased disease resistance, but also increased plant vigor. So we can expect these plants to grow larger and also be more productive than non-grafted counterparts. So we want to install that support system, and I like to do that before planting so that we don't damage the root system of that plant. And I'm going to just simply use a little bit of stretchy tape to attach the plant. And as it grows, I'll come back and continue to attach the plant to the stake as it moves upward. I also intend to prune these to a single stem, and I'll prune off the lateral production as it grows, training it that way. Well, I'm excited to see how these grafted tomatoes produce, and hopefully they'll give us a good payoff for the investment.